guys, it's Michelle
and Cindy from the Yoga Shack in Bethpage, Long Island.
Welcome to Mini Mondays.
Hey guys, it's Cindy from the Yoga Shack. I am really excited to be here with you today to work on our hips. Many times people are pretty afraid to show up to a yoga practice because they think they have to be flexible. I'm completely the opposite. I love yoga. I've been practicing over 15 years and I'm super inflexible, especially in my hips. So in addition to yoga, I like to run and bike and do a lot of activities that create a really tight, stiff body. We'll be working with some traditional yoga moves, sort of, and some untraditional moves and putting them together to hopefully leave your hips feeling incredible. All right, let's get started. All right, so let's come onto all fours. Separate your knees as wide as your hips and make sure that your knees are directly underneath your hips, okay? Spread those fingers nice and wide. And all I want you to do to start is just to start rocking your hips a little side to side. Feel the belly pulling in. Feel the front ribs drawing in. And just start rocking it out side to side. And now start to make a circular motion. Just draw big circles with your hips. Notice I'm breathing a little loud. I find that Ujjayi breath really helps me, especially when I move into tight areas. But if that's something that's new to you, just breathe in and out with a nice, smooth, rhythmic breath. All right, let's go ahead and switch the direction. Good, nothing fancy here. We're just rocking it out. And then come back through center and reach that right leg up and back. Now, the tendency is we're going to open that hip, but keep the right hip down. But press out through that right heel, and then reach your left arm forward and up. And again, can you keep the belly pulling in? Feel the front ribs drawing in. Reach long, and then exhale, lower it down. Good. Left leg, right arm, reaching up. So you want your arm and leg at the same height. Exhale, lower it down. And again, left arm, right leg, and lower it down. So another tendency is we tend to want to lift really high. So you don't have to here. Keep the arm and the leg really at your shoulder height. Exhale, lower down, and again, lift, and lower. And we're just going to do this a few more times. Just lifting and lower, lift, and lower. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. So from here, we're going to sit back on our heels, reach the arms forward. This is child's pose, and rest your head. Now, if for some reason this is too intense for you, you can always place a block under your forehead, keeping your arms reaching forward. Good. We got deep breath in and full breath out. Coming onto all fours, once again. This time we're going to open our knees wider. So it's sort of that frog pose if you're familiar with frog in yoga. So your knees are wider than your hips. And then your feet open out to the side so that your heels are about in line with your knees. Good, so you should start in a somewhat comfortable position. Frog is not very comfortable for me. And then we're just going to rock all the way back and then rock forward. Now this is kind of like step 1. You can just rock forward and rock back. Now I want you to keep going as I talk you through this. I want you to feel the front ribs stay in. Feel the belly pulling in. And then feel that lengthening of your tailbone down. So it's not this action like you're arching your back, but it's the opposite, okay? So your tailbone down. Good. And again, just rocking forward and rocking back. Now, if you're super flexible, then walk your arms forward and and go deeper, right? So you can actually pull your hips all the way back and walk your arms forward. Oh my gosh. So this is pretty intense for me. I'm actually starting to sweat. And again, pull back and come forward. We're going to do 4 more. 3, relax the head. 2, and 1. Come back through center, and then bring those knees together. Good. Sit back on the heels, and just find your way to a kneeling position. Good. Relax the arms. Just take a full deep breath in, and a full deep breath out. Let's walk our way back to all fours. We're going to come into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Really press to those finger pads. Keep the toes curled under. And then lift your hips up and back. And if you notice, my knees are bent. I want you to keep the knees bent here. Good. Press those heels down. Feel your rib cage move into your thighs. Good. Feel those upper arms moving out and away. Deep breath in. Gaze towards your belly. And then come forward to plank pose. Hold it here. Bend the knees. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Straighten those legs out. Bend the knees. Come forward to plank. Good. Again, push back up. Keep the knees bent. Straighten out the legs. Keep the belly engaged. Bend the knees. Come forward to plank. So we're going to do 2 more just like that. Now, anytime if you need to drop your knees, please drop your knees and take rest. Again, all the way back. Keep the knees bent. Straighten out the legs. Bend the knees. Come forward to plank. And then all the way up and back. Knees bent. Straighten the legs. Bend the knees. Come forward to plank. Good. And then drop the knees and find child's pose. Sit all the way back on the heels and rest the head. This is your rest. You might even feel at this point like you're getting a little heated. I know I am. Good. Just 1 more breath here. And then walk your hands all the way in. We're going to come to sit. So try to find the center of your mat. You might need to reorganize yourself once we're moving. I'm going to show you options here. We're going to start with our hands behind us and just let the knees drop to the center, just side to side. We're not going to get super crazy technical, but I want this to feel good in your hip joints. You shouldn't have any pain anywhere, especially your knees. If you feel this in your knees in like a pinching, painful way, please come out and find child's pose. Just take rest. Good. Now, next time your right knee comes down, let's just tap it out. Come back up through center, left knee down, and just tap it out. Good. Come back up through center, right knee, tap it out. And come back up, left knee down, tap it out. Good. Come back up through center. Nice. Now, next time your knee comes down, I want you to drop that, your right knee comes down, drop that left knee, and then push your hips up. Now, if this is not working for you, you can use your blocks. You can have your blocks alongside you just like this, okay? Otherwise, you're going to just push your hips forward. Now, keep your hands to your hips and step your left foot forward. Good. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, lower the hands down to the inside of that left foot. Step the right foot all the way back. Good. Now, we're going to rock a little forward and back. Just rock it forward and back. And then keeping your hands to the inside of that left foot. see if you can pivot onto the outer edge of that right foot and turn your left foot out to the side. So for me, this is like a killer in my outer hips and my glutes. So just notice where you feel it. I also feel it in my hamstrings. And then we're just going to open that left arm up. One more breath here. Sorry about that. And then lower your hand all the way down. Good. Rotate back to that lunge. And then press yourself all the way up and over for Skandasana. So bend all the way into that right knee. Straighten your left leg. Now, if this is hard for you to hold yourself up, you can bring your hands to the floor. If it's doable, keep your arms in front of you. Good. One more breath here. And then lower your hands all the way down. Go ahead and push yourself all the way up. Come back to that lunge. So drop your knee. Good. Now step that left foot back. And we're just going to come right back to that same position we started. And then we're going to send the knees over to the other side. Okay, so over to the left. We're going to push ourselves up. Step that right foot forward into that lunge, nice and slow. Lower the hands down to the floor. Good. And then from here, step that left foot all the way back. Let me reposition myself. Hold it here. We're going to rock a little forward and back. Forward and back. And then pivot onto the outer edge of your left foot. Turn your right foot out to the side. Maybe you open your arm up. If that's not doable, just keep your hand down. Notice I'm still moving a little, and that's okay. I like to bring a little bit of movement when I'm feeling super tight and stiff. It helps me loosen up a little. And then lower that hand down. Good. Rotate that foot forward. Good. And then root down as you rise all the way up. Skandasana all the way over to the other side again. So bend into that left knee. Straighten the right leg. Good. Feeling the inner leg seam stretch. Those are your adductors. Now push down. Rotate all the way back to that starting point. Lower the hands down. Drop that left knee. Good. Step the right foot all the way back. We're going to come right back to the center. Good. And then we're just going to keep our arms forward and just alternate side to side. Whew. My hips are having a party right now. Good. Keep that going. Just going a little side to side. All right, so from here, we're going to let the knees fall to the side. And we're just going to walk ourselves forward, coming onto hands and knees. Step the right foot forward, okay? Now bring your hands to that front thigh and rise up. So we're going to work on that posterior tilt of the tailbone. So again, I don't know if you're like me, you have a very curvy back, right? It's much harder to do this, okay? So you want to really lengthen the tailbone down, okay? So I'll kind of like remind you. So your right foot is forward, your left knee is down, and all we're going to do is either keep your hands on your thighs if it's too intense, or you can reach your arms up, and we're going to just pulse forward and back for 8, 7. Now notice I'm starting to get curvy. Feel the front ribs draw in. Tailbone lengthening. So as soon as I lengthen my tailbone, my left psoas is screaming on fire in a good way. Okay? So again, 4, just pulse it out. 3, 2, and 1. Now lower your hands to the floor, curl the toes, and lift that knee. Bring your hands to the front thigh, and then press yourself up. You can keep your hands to your hips, or you can reach your arms up. I'm going to stay here. And again, same thing. Lengthen the tailbone down. Pull that belly in. Front ribs draw in. Good, and then press up through that back thigh and just pulse it gently for 8, 7, oh my gosh, 6, 5, 4, it's not a really big pulse, 3, 2, 1, lower that knee all the way down. Lower your hands to the floor and step your knees together and then come all the way down to your belly. Good. Keep your hands in line with your chest and then slide that right knee up towards your chest or your hip. Okay, so you'll have to see how far you can go. So I would say bring your right knee to about your hip and then notice where your heel is. Your right heel should be just about in line with your knee. It could open out to the side a little bit more though. And then push yourself up like you were coming into cobra. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale. So now I'm going to tell you something you might experience. You might experience pain on your right knee because it's on the floor. So just make sure you have something cushiony under both knees. Press up and lower down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 and 1. Lower it all the way down. Slide that leg back and find child's pose. Sit back on the heels. Deep breath in. Open the mouth and breathe out. Let's come onto it, come into it on the other side. So let's come onto all fours. Step your left foot forward. Let's start here with the back knee down. Again, you can bring your hands to your front thigh. Actually, I'm going to turn this way this time. Okay? So again, you can always even do this. Just turn the mat or fold the mat so it's a little more cushiony. And again, hands to your front thigh to start or hands to hips. Lengthen the tailbone. Remember, that's going to change everything. As soon as you lengthen your tailbone, what's going to happen is you're going to fire up the psoas, your hip flexor. And when you stretch your hip flexor, you're actually relieving tension in your lower back. So it's a really important thing to do. Now, go ahead and just pulse forward and back. 8, 7, 6, I don't know if you could tell, I'm like winded. 5, because I'm so tight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hands to the floor. We're going to curl the back toes under and lift your leg. Good, so the same thing. We're going to rise up. Now, let's just say this is too intense of coming all the way up. You could always do it again with the back knee down. Hands to your hips to start. Lengthen the tailbone. Oh. And then push up through that back thigh as much as you can. And we're going to pulse it for 8, 7, 6. Remember, lengthening down. 5, 4. Maybe the arms go up. 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the floor. Drop that back knee. Lie all the way onto your belly. Good. So we'll lie all the way onto your belly. I will stay this side. And then we're going to slide our left knee out to the side. And again, your left knee is just about in line with the hip. Open that left foot out. And then come down to your belly. Bring your hands just about in line with your chest. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, push up. Oh. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. So you're feeling this in the inner seam of that left leg. You're also feeling it in the hip flexor of that right leg. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. Lower it all the way down. And then bring both legs together. And just Shake it out and find child's pose. Reach your arms all the way forward. And then we're going to walk ourselves in, and we're going to come up to stand. So for our last one, go ahead and widen your feet. We're going to move into Skandasana side to side. It's just a little different variation on Skandasana. So your feet turn out just slightly. We're going to start with our hands either to our hips, or you can bring your hands to the center on the floor, just like this. You would start in a forward fold. If you're going to start in a forward fold, just be super mindful that your back is nice and long and we're not rounding our back. I'm going to start here. And as we exhale, we're going to bend all the way into that left knee. Good. You can flex your right foot, or your foot could be down. See where you feel a better stretch. I feel it better here in the adductors when my foot is down. Now I'm going to push myself all the way up and over to the other side. Don't worry if your heel lifts here. Now if you want it more challenging, you can clasp your hands and reach your arms forward, plugging those shoulders back. All right, root down. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, exhale over. Last one, inhale and exhale. Inhale back through center and exhale. Hop those feet together. Good, go ahead and just march it out. Feet together, bring your hands together. Just close your eyes. Feel this amazing energy rushing through your body, especially those hips. Take a deep breath in, open the mouth and breathe out. Again, deep breath in. Open the mouth and breathe out. You did really good work today, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste. Just a reminder, please subscribe. It's super quick, super easy, doesn't cost you a cent, and would really help a small business out. Thanks again.